Lord, Letitia James out in New York can't seem to get a break. At first, it was the mortgage fraud situation, and now there's allegations of her using tax dollars to take private jets. Lord, this Trump administration just ain't what you want, okay? But we gonna get into it. Hello, and thank you so much for joining me today. Again, my name is Andrea Banu, and we are going to jump right into it. As you know, Miss Letitia James out in New York, the Attorney General, is being all wrapped up in this mortgage fraud situation. I did a video further back. I'll put it at the end of this video so you can follow up. But she is caught up in three mortgage fraud scenarios. Okay, she got a house in Queens with her dad where she claimed she was the spouse. She got a house in Virginia where she claimed that was a principal residence. And she has another place in Brooklyn where she certified it was for a 4-unit dwelling when it's really a 5. I mean, it's a mess. Okay. And now they're trying to drag her for supposedly or allegedly taking private flights, private jets on taxpayer dollars. Listen, Trump done already got Trump done already got Pam Bondi to go after her. They are officially doing a probe in regards to this mortgage situation, and it's getting ugly. It is getting ugly. Let's go ahead and see what the news had to say about it.
Another story we're following very closely today. New York Attorney General Letitia James with some tough words against the Trump administration. She is forcefully defending herself from a mortgage fraud investigation launched by the Justice Department. And she spoke with political reporter Marcia Kramer.
It was the first time New York Attorney General Letitia James spoke before the Association for a Better New York in 4 years, and she had a terse message for the city's movers and shakers about a probe launched by the Trump Justice Department into allegations of mortgage fraud.
This investigation into me is nothing more than retribution. It's baseless.
The probe centers on charges she falsified records related to her home in Brooklyn and loan documents for a Virginia property she was co-signing for a niece.
It has to do with the fact that on a power of attorney, I mistakenly indicated that I was a state of Virginia, but prior to that, I had indicated to the mortgage broker that in fact, in both
mistakenly. Let's read this. On August 2nd, 2023, Letitia James wrote, "This property will not be my primary residence. It will be Shamisa's primary residence, sent from my iPhone." Okay.
Old cap letters that I am not a resident of Virginia and never will be.
Meanwhile, FBI Director Kash Patel confirmed that his agents are actively investigating the case and reporting directly to him and Deputy Director Dan Bongino.
This case, I can tell you, is being handled by our professional pros who are subject matter experts reporting directly to headquarters because it is a case of great public importance.
James says it's retribution for the $455 million judgment her office won against President Trump and the Trump Organization for inflating property values to get more favorable loan and insurance terms. During her speech, she bragged about filing 23 suits challenging the legality of the executive orders signed by the president that she said do harm to New Yorkers.
My message is clear. Don't harm my city. Don't harm my state. Otherwise, you've got to go through me.
Marcia, I'm curious, was her speech today mostly about these suits that she's filed?
Well, you know, there were a lot of suits that she was upset about. Specifically, though, she was upset about the one that was about deporting migrants. She said it was a...
Listen. Okay, she's talking about this one primary residence in Virginia, but she got two other cases. She has a total of 3 cases. So, okay, there may be a text message or something else that went out that says this will not be my primary residence. However, you still have the situation out in Brooklyn and you have the situation or the residence out in Queens. So she's not out of the clear. So this is crazy. So, it still looks like a pattern of behavior with regards to falsifying documents in regards to this mortgage stuff. But let's continue.
Staying on the moral fiber of the nation.
I know you got one-on-one time with her today. What'd she say?
Well, she says she's willing to work with the president on things that New Yorkers care about, like Penn Station or building affordable housing or other, infrastructure projects. But the thing that she's most intent about is collecting the $455 million from the Trump family. It's on appeal now, and she wants that money.
Wow.
And she'll keep fighting for it.
I think she will.
Marcia, thank you.
But I want to read this because this is going to go into it a little bit more. It says Letitia James listed this Virginia house as her principal residence, but neighbors say they've never seen her as the New York AG faces mortgage fraud as New York AG faces mortgage fraud probe. Okay. So New York Attorney General Letitia James listed a Virginia home more than 300 miles from her office in New York City as her principal residence in official public documents and obtained by the Post, but neighbors said Wednesday that they've never seen her there. Okay, let me go down here because they've got a lot. So that's the house. Now here is the official document here. So here it's saying, I hereby declare that I intend to occupy this property as my circled I can't even speak. Principal residence. Okay, I hereby declare that I intend to occupy this property as my principal residence. And so here's the power of attorney information. This is what she's saying that they're using, even though it's not correct. Going instrument was subscribed to Q1 the 10th of August 2023. In addition, is primarily known her. Okay, boop. All of this is information that she wrote in terms of power of attorney. I'm assuming this is her Brooklyn home. That's the Virginia home. So they've got these documents specifying that she signed. She signed. Here's her information. She signed these documents. So general signing documents stating that this is your primary residence, and then later on come back and be like, oh, I made a mistake. It's not. That just feels real fugazi to me. That seems real suspicious. But I want to play something for you because Trump spoke about it. He spoke about it today about this whole Letitia James situation. And I want to see, I didn't see exactly what he said about it, but I'm definitely going to get into it because I want to know his opinion. Okay, so let's see what Trump had to say about Miss Letitia James.
Brian, thank you very much. I'd like to get your thoughts on Letitia James. Director Polte, according to him, Letitia James says that the alleged mortgage fraud was simply a mistake. I want to get your thoughts on that. She put down that her father was her husband in order, and this is very similar to, I guess, the false accounts they have on here.
Well, I don't know what it is currently, but Letitia James, who's the Attorney General of New York State, it seemed, I'm not involved in that at all. I know that it's being handled by various groups, I guess, but it's major fraud, mortgage documents and fraudulent everything. I think she said the father was her husband, which she had to have a husband, or so she chose her father. And she put it down, and she had didn't she sign in Virginia? Yet she said she lived in Virginia. Yet she's the New York State Attorney General. And she did that for tax reasons, so she could take advantage of taxes. And she had the wrong number of units. She had a much different number, which wouldn't have allowed her to qualify and scam the government. So I don't know. I think she's very bad for New York, but I really don't know too much about it. But I appreciate the question. Thank you.
So he's like this. Listen, that's up to Pam Bondi. I'm not in it. I'm not in it. So, she's wanting to paint it as retribution on behalf of Trump. He's like, listen, my name Bennett, I ain't in it. That's between her and the government. So listen, did he, rub a few shoulders and say, listen, look into Miss Thing over there and see what you can find? And they found something? I don't know. But it's not looking good. And like I said before, they've got a bunch of other stuff going on with regards to private flights. Okay, so I have this for you also. This is the record in regards to some private flights that she was taking that were not approved. So it says no records found. So when you take private flights or you use taxpayer dollars for specific things, you got to get approval. There's got to be records, things of that nature. So apparently she was taking these flights and she wasn't doing the proper protocol in terms of getting approval or keeping documentation and records for it. So here's an article that just came out, says no records found. New York AG James 41,000 private jet scandal deepens. And so it says two government agencies, two very different answers. One inescapable conclusion. New York Attorney General Letitia James' office spent $41,807 in taxpayer funds on private jets with no public accountability. And now both the state comptroller and the attorney general's office are stonewalling attempts to uncover the truth. And so the background, the missing travel records. This investigation began on March 23rd of 2025. Okay. When our investigation first revealed that between 2020 and 2021, Letitia James's office quietly paid over $41,000 to Venture Jets Inc., a private charter company used by no other New York State agency. Let's see here. What makes this story particularly concerning is that no other New York State agency has ever used this vendor. A comprehensive review of state expenditures records from 2015 to present confirms this stunning fact. Venture Jets appears exclusively in transactions with the Attorney General's office until the relationship shifted to James's campaign. After taxpayer funding for private jets ended in December 2021, James's campaign immediately hired the same charter company in May 2022, paying $12,000 for transportation in a campaign finance filing, suggesting a relationship that's shifted from public to campaign functions without clear separation. So here are going to be the payment records here. So Venture Jets, let me make sure you can see this. Okay, perfect. You can see this. Let me get back. Okay. So here is Venture Jets, the vouchers, invoice dates, and then the amounts of all of those private flights. Okay, let's get back to the article. Okay, suspicious timing. Flights align with campaign events. These 6 flights aligned with known campaign events in Martha's Vineyard and Puerto Rico were buried as line items in the state comptroller's checkbook with no contracts, no travel memos, no passenger manifest, and no public explanation. A review of James's campaign finance records show that several of these dates align closely with campaign expenditures. So this is actually an old story that it seems like is getting more traction. So what is happening is what I think is happening is this story came out, I would say in 2024, where there's multiple articles speculating that she was using campaign funds for her own private travels like this jet. And now that she is in all of this chaos with regards to mortgage fraud, somebody said, you know what, let's revisit these private jets and these campaign funds. Listen, I told you in that last video that this woman is up shit creek without a paddle and it's going to be ugly. Trump said, listen, I don't have no parts of it. That's between you. That's between you and Pam Bondi. And she is currently the head of the Department of Justice. They ain't got nothing to do with me. So she is in a bind. Okay. She's trying to walk back this whole private residence situation in Virginia, but she has not been able to give no excuse as to why she said that 5 dwelling location that she has in Brooklyn was actually represented as a 4 dwelling unit. And she don't have no real answers as to why she is listed on her daddy's mortgage as his spouse. And now they are digging into these campaign funds and these private jet records with no actual line items, no contracts, no passengers, et cetera, looking real suspicious. So listen, like they say, don't you go throwing stones when you live in a glass house. Okay. So it looks like Letitia James then bit off a little bit more than she can chew. Okay. She decided she was going after Trump. As you see in that interview there, she says she's still trying to get all this money from Trump. And Trump is like, okay, I'm going to sit quietly by. I'm going to whisper to a few people and you gonna be hemmed up. And listen, I don't think it's smart. I think Letitia needs to just get quiet. She needs to take some cues, some cues from Eric Adams. Get on Trump's good side. Say, how can we get to the table and renegotiate? She a lawyer. She should know how to renegotiate. Listen, I did some things, you did some things. How do we figure this out? That's what she need to do. She need to get to the table and say, how can we be friends? How can we help each other? Okay, if I agree to let you slide and we ignore this 400 million, then listen, I stay free. I don't get indicted on none of this because listen, politics are dirty. Okay, very dirty. And she out here, I don't know if y'all saw, but she out here asking for like $25 donations from people at these events she going to. So it's getting crazy. It's getting real crazy. She was talking real loud and bold about 2 weeks ago, but now that they digging into these campaign funds, she's starting to look a little different. But I'm going to follow this story. I'm going to continue to follow this story and I'm going to continue to give you updates. Like I said, I'm going to put up my original post where I told you she shouldn't have let the Democratic Party use her because now Biden and Kamala ain't in that office. She ain't got nobody to save her. But nonetheless, what is your opinion? Do you think Miss Letitia James will actually have to do some time behind this? Do you think they have a real case? Or do you think this is just media fodder? Do you think this is just something to keep our attention and really nothing to really be made a big deal out of? I would love to get your opinion. And please, if you have not already, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I am trying to get in that algorithm and grow my channel, and any love you can give, I greatly appreciate. And so until next time, again, my name is Andrea Banu, and this is The Community Ledger. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe and watch the next video by clicking right here.